Okay,
Okay.
last question for today from Daniel. Are you here, Daniel?
I am.
Okay, hey, good to see you, man.
Yeah, thank you. Pleasure.
Okay, so you said, what are your thoughts about having a smaller program to build trust and to enter a client relationship if one's signature program is a longer, more expensive proposal? Great. I think it's a fantastic idea. Yeah, that's my very short answer. Yeah, having some taster of some kind. And there's so many different ways to do it. It's not infinite, but there are a lot of ways. Your social media can be one of these ways you build trust and relationship. You could have a something like what I'm doing here, free first Thursday. Just call and get coached and see what it's like to work with. You could do a hour-long signature workshop, and you do that on the regular, and it's a way for people to get to know you. You could do a little 10-day challenge or a 7-day challenge. You could do a 30-day program or a 6-week program. You could sell a DIY course. You could have a starter kit. So there's a lot of options, but it's huge. It's a vital thing, because what we don't want is for it to be too big a leap of, okay, you've just heard about me on social media. Now spend $10,000 on this program. That's a crazy leap.
So, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, because there's one perspective that says have multiple rungs on the ladder, all the way from kind of free to a low-level offer to a high level, like you were talking earlier, a 1-year signature program. And then there's another one that says you should have one offer because you'll just confuse people and only try to sell one thing at a time. Can you offer some insight on that?
Well, but I think you'll find even when you just sell one thing, well, how are you selling it? You're like, well, how do these people suggest that you sell people into this thing?
A funnel, quote unquote.
Yeah, so that's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be ways that people can check you out from a distance. That's the operating principle. It's just safety. How can they check you out from a distance? Now, a signature workshop might do that. And you might just say, look, what I'll say is this. If your niche is hyper clear, and this is like, not a lot of people do this, and there's a huge demand, and your point of view is extremely compelling and makes a lot of sense very quickly to people, you might be able to just do a signature workshop, say, look, this isn't for everybody, but I've got a $20,000 program. And here's the results I've produced, and here's the sales letter. I'm taking very few clients, but if you're interested, let me know. That might actually work if you've got the right problem that you're solving.
Yeah.
And people trust you. You might just be able to leap there. So with a business model, there's there's the sales funnel, but how many levels do you put in? As fucking few as you can. Don't because you could do it like, well, I've got my $1 offer, but also a $7 offer, and then I got a $16 offer, and a $25, and then a $50 and a $100. It gets to be a sort of ridiculous.
That's a lot of rungs.
Yeah, it actually overwhelms people and complicates, and then they do get confused.
Yeah.
But so I do take the point of, right, have one thing you're offering. So for me, it's the membership. Everything kind of goes to the membership, though that's not a high-end offer. It's just $100 a month. But that's what I direct everything to. And I think it is a good idea to just like, okay, what's the thing that's going to bring in the most money for my business? And how do I make sure everything is directing towards that? I think that's a good idea. And
awesome.
Yeah. And there's a lot of ways to do that. But generally for service providers, I would say signature workshop, and then there might be one other level. And then you could go right to the high end things. But that again hinges on how clear is the niche. Because man, if you don't have a clear niche and clear point of view, getting anybody to sign up for a high end program is almost impossible. Like, I'm going to spend $10,000 for what?
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you very much for your insight and for this whole thing. Everyone else's questions have been fantastic too.